Week 15 of the fantasy football season, and here's a few running backs I have as sleeper options this week. The first side, Dare Akabulai of the Houston Texans. So right here, we know Damian Pierce, he's going to be out a couple weeks now with an ankle sprain he suffered versus the Dallas Cowboys in Week 14. And Angumbole, I think, is getting an opportunity, obviously. We know they got Rex Burkhead over there in the backfield as a guy, but right now I think he could be a sleeper option. I'm not saying go out there and start him, but he definitely could be a guy stash, and if you're in the deepest of leagues with injuries, or whatever the case may be here, maybe you're going to want to use him. But the last game, he saw some work towards the end at the Cowboys. 1 carry, -3 yards, 2 catches, 4 yards. So in this one here, it's a tough matchup versus the Kansas City Chiefs, where obviously the game script's going to dictate a lot in this one, where I think the Chiefs obviously will go up early and often 10-14 points before this game even starts. But right now, it's probably going to be him early down work and Rex Burkhead third down work, or maybe the early down work as well. So right now, if you're in the deepest of leagues or real desperation play, Angumbale I have as a sleeper this week, and he's available in 99% of fantasy leagues. The next guy's Marlon Mack of the Denver Broncos. So Marlon Mack, he showed up with a good ball game last week, and I know it was on one big play, a 60-plus yard receiving touchdown that he took off a screen to the house. So right now, Mike Boone's out in this one. He's the backup to Latavius Murray, and he's available right now in 95% of fantasy leagues. Here's Marlon Mack. So the last few games for him, Week 12 at the Panthers, 2 carries, 7 yards, a catch, 5 yards. Week 13 at the Ravens, 2 carries, 3 yards, a catch, 6 yards. And Week 14 versus the Chiefs, 3 carries, 15 yards, and like I said, that 2 catches, 61 yards and a touchdown. So this week here, battle of the backup quarterbacks most likely, with Brett Rypien and Colt McCoy with the Arizona Cardinals coming to town here versus the Denver Broncos. So right now, if you're in the deepest of leagues, Marlon Mack, could see in this one get 8 to 12 carries and possibly on luck find the end zone this week. And he's available, like I said, in 95% of fantasy leagues. And the third and final running back I have as a sleeper this week is Chuba Hubbard of the Carolina Panthers. So last week here, he was the best running back in the backfield for the Panther team, and he got a lot of work in that ball game. 14 carries, 74 yards, a touchdown, and he added the 3 catches for 25 yards. So the last 2 games here, he's had 17 touches in each ball game. Week 10 versus Atlanta, 5 carries, 14 yards. Week 11 in Baltimore, 2 catches, 25 yards. And then Week 12 versus Denver, 17 carries, 65 yards. So Week 15 here, a good matchup where it's going to be a tight ball game, I believe, between the Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, where it's going to come down to the wire. And I think we're going to see Chuba Hubbard and D'Onta Foreman once again split over there in the backfield. So right now, available still in 62% of fantasy leagues. He's a running back I have as a sleeper this week. So that's a few running backs I have as sleepers here in a crucial Week 15 of the fantasy football season.